And now it has come at a point in my life where I feel I should not just reflect, but share this with other ladies who are maybe thinking the same, feeling the same, who are already in marriage or who are heading towards marriage, or even the ones who are in their early 20s. As I prepare for marriage, I've come to realize something I wish that women talked about more often. And that's that a healthy marriage and a healthy friendship can exist together. And growing up, we always knew that community would always be there for us. If it was not our parents, friends, or our relatives being around, it was church. If it was not church, it was school. We just always knew it was always going to be there. And now that I'm coming to get into marriage in a few months, it's really got me reflecting about a lot of things. Asking myself if I have the backbone of community. That when it comes time for me to cross the bridge and be a wife, will I be able to have a community that will strengthen my wifehood, that will strengthen me not just as a wife, but also as Christine, as a lady who has passion for life and passion for things. And when I get to motherhood, will I have those people who will back me up? I've really come to reflect on the importance of community and coming to realize that now it is upon me to find my community. It is a heavy responsibility. And I'm really not sure that women talk about this a lot. We've really centered our lives around love and family, forgetting that it takes a whole village, not just to raise kids, no. It takes a whole village for us to also be able to put ourselves out there. And I remember how our mothers on Sundays used to have chamas, and Sunday was so much food. They'd cook chapo, pilau, buy snacks and stuff, juice and all of that. And it was so fascinating to us as kids. And we were told, don't touch that, it's for the guests. Usiguze, usikule, so pata mkikula hiyo ni ya wageni, And it was so fascinating how these ladies would come into the house, convene, talk about finances, and how they gather their finances together to be able to make a difference in the community, make a difference in their families. Talk about strengthening their bonds, strengthening their homes, building legacies, taking their children to the best schools ever. That was where you could hear the dreams of the mothers. And now coming into this journey where I'm heading towards marriage, I'm really reflecting on the aspect of community. Because I've realized marriage is important and community is just as important. Now, a time came when we were now headed to boarding school. And I remember it was such a different experience. It was so different. Having been at home and seeing community be there, going to school and it's boarding. And I have to now build it for myself. And I didn't know that I had to build it for myself. I just took it as I'm in school. And it came to show me that friendships can be seasonal. And it's not a bad thing. Friendships change, people grow, and it's very okay. It's acceptable, it's accepted. And that is something that we didn't really know or have growing up in our minds. And I remember being in boarding school and it was survival for the fittest. Like, we had to have different groups of friends according to the circumstance for us to be able to survive the term. And I remember how Watu wa Nairobi were treated very special and different. And it wasn't something that we thought of as, unimportant. It was just something we did not value, I'm your friend today, tomorrow I'm friends with other people, and it really did not teach me how to build relationships with people. It did not teach me how to build friendships, because in my mind I took it as what I saw at home and what I'm seeing here, two very different things. And now friendship does not last. And that stuck with me. It stuck with me in a way that I could not attach myself to friends for a season, for like a time, for like a longer time, but for a season, for like a longer time, I could not. And it was a bit difficult because you'd share secrets with people, and even me, I'd do the same. I mean, we would go share those secrets with other people and say, "Sema nimekwambia." And this really did not give us the platform that we would have needed, And reflecting on even what's happening in the country in schools right now. Basically, that's the modus operandi of schools, that, we have cliques. We move according to who's the coolest and who's not the coolest and who do I need to be friends with to survive today. So having borne that perspective inside of us in boarding school, then coming home and finding that the chamas are no longer there, I don't know what happened. The ladies don't meet anymore. Now the topic has changed to now, you don't need friends. Friends are seasonal. You don't need people in your life. You only need to focus. You only need to achieve your goals. You only need to read. You need to be a principled person. And that was affirming what was happening in school, right? That I needed to find my own place myself. I did not need people. And that stuck with me till today. It really stuck with me until today. And I'm not saying that it's a bad thing. No, it's not a bad thing. I just want us to think about it differently, especially for ourselves who are about to build families, we're about to build homes, we're about to build legacies. What do we have inside of us about having a community that we're going to instill on our spouses and instill on our children? Let's just think about it differently. Let's just think about it differently. And now it has come at a point in my life where I feel I should not just reflect, but share this with other ladies who are maybe thinking the same, feeling the same, who are already in marriage or who are heading towards marriage, or even the ones who are in their early 20s. It is time to intentionally build friendships, and not just friendships, but community. It's time for us to be intentional about how we move, how we talk, how we interact with people, the kind of people we choose to interact with. Because this is no longer a joke. This is no longer, if I mess up, I'm gonna blame it on anyone. This is now, I take responsibility for my own actions. And we're building something that is supposed to be bigger than us. Something that is supposed to outlast us. And if you're there and you feel like you need a community, you need a friend, and you really haven't gotten the opportunity, or you don't even know how to go about it, it's never too late. You can always make your own community. Community does not compete with marriage. Friendships do not compete with marriage. That's not what we're doing here. We're not here to pit the bull against the wall and say, now, it's either you choose your friends or you choose your marriage. That's not what we're doing. We're here to be intentional about choosing communities that strengthen who we are in our marriages, choosing communities that strengthen who we are for our children, and most importantly, building communities who strengthen who we are for ourselves. Because at the end of the day, when you're down and you're feeling low, or when you need a shoulder to lean on, it is always going to be your spouse and your community. Now, when I talk about community so strongly, I'm talking about it so strongly because I have been a person who has not really kept friendships in my life like that. I have very few people I can say know my life or know me. And these are people that are very far away from me. Like, we talk like once in a while, and when we meet, the vibe is there. Everything is cool, fine, you know? But once we're away from each other, we don't really talk. And I haven't put myself to intentionally be in a space where I can involve myself in someone's life and say, you know what, you're my friend. What's been happening? How can I help? You know, how can we make your business better? How can we put the word out there for what you're doing? I haven't really put myself in that until I went to a school for internship. A very nice school, very lovely community. And I remember being there, and I'm a counselor, I'm a counseling psychologist in training. And I remember being there, and as counselors naturally are good, warm, lovely people, empathetic. And I thought because it's my first time here, maybe that's why they're treating me this nice. But then every time I got into the office, every time I was in the counseling department, and every time I interacted with those kids, it opened up my mind a lot. And I got to realize that I did not really use the opportunity I had while in school to build the friendships that mattered. Until one of my colleagues was sharing how she is intentional with friendships. And if she's not attending or doing something with her friends, she's going to see her friend somewhere. And a lovely thing, she came all the way from there to come for my traditional wedding. And she came all the way for me. And we had just known each other for a period of those 3 months. And seeing the kind of attention she puts into details with friendship, it really challenged me. That tomorrow, when I need a favor, I can call her and tell her my daughter has graduated and she needs this job. And I can be able to pull that string because we were in the same room and we stayed intentional about being in each other's lives. So yes, the propaganda out here is that women are snakes and we're not really good when it comes to friendships. And men out here really talk about how they have strong friendships and they boast about their friendships and how they're able to reconcile really fast. So I think it's time for us to pull up our socks and do the same. And if you're a woman out there who's looking to live your life with intention, make sure you subscribe to my channel, comment, leave a like, share, this with a woman who needs it. Because it's never too late for us to be intentional. This is the Intentional Woman. Thank you so much for watching. See you next time. Bye bye.